Class is in session. MLB Hitting the Book Show Monday, June the 9th. Ian Cameron with you, and Connor Mack will be here in just a moment as well. And we're ready to break down the Monday MLB card. We've got a decent slate tonight, a little less than normal, but still got, about, I would say, 9 games on the MLB docket for tonight. So excited to break them all down as usual. So we'll get right into it. We will begin with the first game on the slate. We've got the Miami Marlins taking on the Pittsburgh Pirates. And in this matchup, we've got Yuri Perez, who is going to get the start here for the Miami Marlins, taking on, it looks like, Mike Burrows, who will get the start here for the Pirates. We've got Pittsburgh minus 120, home favorites minus 125 in some spots, the total sitting at 8 across the board. Yuri Perez is a comeback story here for the Miami Marlins. This is a guy that is making his highly anticipated return from a lengthy injury absence. He's got a totally revamped pitching arsenal from all indications going into this game here tonight. It'll be fascinating to see how that plays out for him. What I do remember about Yuri Perez is in 2023, when we last saw him, he was a pretty damn good pitcher for the Miami Marlins. He was pretty solid. He had some pretty good outings for this team. He certainly showed capability of what he could deliver. I'm totally staying out of this game from a betting standpoint. I think the reasons to stay out of it are very clear in my mind. I don't know how he's going to pitch here in his first start back. It's been a long time. Let's see what his new look, because apparently he's changed his pitch arsenal, his pitch, just the type of pitches that he can throw out there. We'll see how he handles it. You're talking about a Miami Marlins team that, believe it or not, here struggled of late. I shouldn't be that shocked by it, but 1-6 in their last 7. And on the flip side, I definitely have a potential bet on sign on Yuri Perez. But I like the way Pittsburgh's going right now. They swept the Philadelphia Phillies over the weekend. Now, we know the Phillies are struggling. We'll get to them in a moment. But, the Pirates swept them over the weekend. They've won 4 of their last 5 games overall. They're playing some better baseball. They're now, just a game below 500 at home, whereas the Marlins have a, pretty dismal 10-19 road record this season. So, I look at this as, I think, based on team form, I'd rather have Pittsburgh. But Burrows has not been phenomenal for the Pirates. He's given up 9 runs in his 13.2 innings of work so far, which is not great. He did have a better start against the Astros in his last outing, but he did struggle in 2 starts before that. This is just, there's a lot going on. And to me, it's kind of, I'd be forcing something if I were to bet it. I would lean to an under. I would lean to the Pirates as far as this team is concerned, but I like Perez. I liked him 2 years ago. And to me, it's really a question of, can he get back to close to what we saw from him, a couple of seasons ago when in 2023 he last pitched for the Marlins. So, like I said, it just feels to me like it's a good game to just stay off, use it for future reference, and go from there. All right, next up, we've got the Battle of Ohio. It's the Cleveland Guardians taking on the Cincinnati Reds. Luis Ortiz on the mound for the Cleveland Guardians, and we've got Wade Miley on the mound here for the Cincinnati Reds. Cleveland minus 165 favorites in this game, and the total here sitting in the range of about 9, shaded to the under in this game. We'll see how this one plays out, but I think I'm interested in the Reds at this price. More so that I'm not exactly in love with trusting the Guardians at this point in time as a bigger favorite. And obviously that's exactly what they are here in that minus 165 range. We've got Luis Ortiz on the mound, who did pitch well in his last start against the Yankees and has pitched pretty solidly overall. But look at the Guardians. They've lost 3 of their last 4, 2-4 in their last 6 games, 500 in their last 10 games. Meanwhile, Cincinnati had a good weekend. They swept Arizona at home. They've won 4 of their last 5. I guess the question is, what do you get from the old veteran Wade Miley, who last year, the last time we saw him starting for the Reds, before his season got upended. Actually, for the Brewers last year, before his season got upended, he had a 3.42 ERA. One thing I can tell you is that the Guardians against lefties, you look at their numbers, nothing great to write home about. Averaging fewer than 3 runs per game, a 227 average. I just feel with Cleveland in this kind of a price range with an okay but not an awesome pitcher on the mound like Ortiz, I think there's some value on the Reds, and I would only take Cincinnati here at this plus price. CMAC is in the house. CMAC, what do you think for Battle of Ohio, Reds, Guardians?
Yeah, I stayed off here. Cleveland at this price, it seems like a game to back them. Their bats can get going against Wade Miley. And, what do we get here? I forgot if you just hit on, he's only had 1 start, right? It's just he's been back. He had all those starts in AAA.
Yeah. Not 1 start back. No, I haven't seen him start yet this year for the Reds.
I thought he started last week. Or he came in relief. Sorry. Yeah. He came in relief. He gave up 4 runs. But he had a bunch of starts, or a couple starts in the minors, at least because I saw those. I don't know kind of what we get. I thought maybe the Guardians team total off him. And Ortiz has been a lot better. This is kind of right where he is with his ERA. He was so bad to start out. And the last 2 starts, he's been very, very good. And he said, if you hit on the Reds, I think when they're hot, they can get rolling. And when they're cold, I don't know. They've been tough for me to figure out. You know what I mean? I get kind of maybe the value of them, but it's like as soon as they go streaking, it seems like 4 or 5 games they win. It's just like then they're going to get cold and lose. So I had to be off here.
All right. Next up, Cubs and Phillies. We've got Matt Boyd, the lefty for the Cubs, and Wheeler in the sky keeps on turning. Zach Wheeler for the Phillies. Philadelphia minus 130, home favorite, 7.5 the total in this game. Has it been a rough stretch for the Phillies? My gosh. 1-9 in their last 10. Swept at home last weekend by Milwaukee. Lose 2-3 at Toronto. Swept by the Pittsburgh Pirates, if you can believe it, over the weekend.
Yeah.
And now they're laying minus 130 against a Cubs team that, 20-14 on the road, 40-25 overall. Matthew Boyd, 3-1 the Cubs in his last 4 starts. He's been pretty solid for the most part. I'm on the Cubs here. It's that simple. Plus 110. They're that bad right now, the Philadelphia Phillies. I want no part of them laying a price as a favorite here. And the most important thing that I noticed here is sometimes in these spots where it looks too obvious, right? Cubs are playing better. Phillies stink, yet the Phillies are favored. Sometimes the money comes in on the favorite, the team that's been struggling. No, the money's come in on the Cubs here because this opened minus 150 on the Phillies, and it's come down to minus 130 So the money has actually come in on the Cubs here in this game. So, yeah, to me, it's Cubs or pass. C-Mac, what do you think?
Yeah, this is a big game for the Phillies. This is what you want your ace for here, though. Wheeler is to shut it down. But can the offense do anything? That's just what's been so dormant.
Yeah.
It's rough to watch in the weekend. Was this Phillies offense getting drilled by the Pirates? We'll get to in a minute. And then, of course, no Bryce Harper anymore. Now that puts today, Bohm's hitting third.
Yeah.
Sketchy
lineup.
It's just not straight. Yeah, a little bit. Especially if these guys aren't running hot, and definitely the bottom. 7, 8, 9 is really rough. I agree. I think it's Cubs here or nothing. This has come down. I looked at the total. I think we could get runs here, and I could see an under. So in the end, I had to back off. I think Wheeler is good. He can hold down the Cubs. It stays down, but if he gets hit, this could go over. So, but I'm totally agreeing here. Cubs are nothing, especially after the loss yesterday.
All right, Tampa Bay Rays and Boston Red Sox. We've got even money, minus 110 both sides, 8.5 being the total here in this game. This is your Sunday night baseball fade spot. I think Tampa Bay's worth a bet here. Minus 110. You got Boston playing at Yankee Stadium, Sunday night baseball. We've talked about this angle on Mondays all season long, and now they're traveling back home with no day off. The very next night they got to play. Now it's short travel. it's not a big flight going from New York to Boston, but like I said, it's still to me not a great spot here for the Red Sox playing last night against the Yankees, and that was a long game, a lot of runs, and now you got to turn around, play again. The only concern is I don't love necessarily Boz at the moment. He's kind of gone back downhill a little bit. That being said, even though with some struggles, they've been winning with Boz. 4-1, the Rays in his last 5 starts, and Bayo to me is just not consistent enough. The Red Sox are not winning with Bayo on the mound, 1-4, the last 5 starts for him. So yeah, I like Tampa Bay here. Again, Sunday Night Baseball fade in play. C-Mac, what do you think?
Yeah, I'm on the Rays here. I took them last night at even money. Red Sox, 11 runs, 12 hits. Of course, beating the Yankees. They got to be feeling great. Boz, in his few starts against the Red Sox, I think it's 2 or 3 in his career, he's been pretty good. They haven't really hit him at all. But the problem throughout the year is he gives up the long ball. Jacks against him. But this line on the totals come down. 8-9, wind's kind of blowing in. They're thinking this game's a lot lower scoring. So we'll see. On the other side, Bayo's been decent, a little bit better. I still talk about his walks all the time. Driving me nuts. His command, but a couple quality starts. He's gotten ripped by the Rays. I mean, they're 84. They're 30 for 84. They're at 357 off him in a few starts. And his biggest problem is all years lefties. It's been like that. Last year they hit 262. The year that was 292. 2023 was 313. I'm on the Rays, just especially with Loud, Low, Aranda. I like Aranda for the Jack plus 750, even with the wind in. I like his RBI and Jack today.
I was able earlier in the day. We got it scheduled. We had to, make sure he was available. But I got to do it was a great interview. He was a guy that played in the majors for several years. Jordan Schaefer. He played for the Atlanta Braves many years ago. We're talking about, and that interview. You know what I'll do? I'll post it not only on my channel, but I will post it on this channel as well because it's baseball related. And I asked him specifically about the Sunday Night Baseball fade spot. And he says it makes a lot of sense. This is a guy that played in the major leagues, so he'd have a good opinion on that. And he said it makes sense. You get done late, you get into the next town very late overnight. So there's something to it that it negatively affects you and teams in this kind of situation. So that's why, I say be leery of taking Boston here in this particular spot here tonight, coming off the game against the Yankees last night. All right, next up, we continue along here. We've got, let me just see here what the next game is. Okay, there we go. It's Braves and Brewers. Chris Sale and Aaron Savali, the pitching matchup here. We've got the Braves minus 155, road favorites, 7.5 total in this game. Yeah, I'm not laying. They're 10-22 on the road. I'm not laying this with Atlanta. No, not on the road. No way. I get it that Sale is capable, and he can certainly maybe pitch a good game. And the Brewers' offense kind of didn't really hit all that great against San Diego over the weekend. But, yeah, I'm not interested in this. This is either you take the Brew Crew or you stay off. The only concern is Savali's not one of my favorites by any stretch of the imagination. He's got a 5.29 ERA so far this season. He was okay in his last start, 2 runs against Cincinnati in 5.1 innings, and actually against Boston before that gave up 1 run. So he's had a little bit of a better last few starts. And the Brewers are 3-0, in Savali's last 3 starts. But I've definitely Sale's got the advantage, but I don't know if there's many other advantages besides that for Atlanta to be worth it to lay this price with them. I would still lean Milwaukee here as a home dog. C-Mac, what do you think?
Yeah, the Braves. Bats are just cold right now. I couldn't take to me that what I wanted here was the under. Savali was the biggest little bit of a risk. Just take Braves, kind of jump on him, be like, because he's just got to see the lineup twice at the most. You know what I mean? Like he can't go past 4 or 5 innings. Just can't see a lineup a third time. Brew Crew have been swinging a little bit better this weekend though. That series against the Padres, all 3 of those games went under. I mean, I didn't get anything yesterday. That's why, to me, this was under or nothing. And, yeah, I know Sale could pitch well and keep him in it, but I can't back the Braves here. You hit on it, their road record. We've touched on it. I think even last week, it's just not great right now.
I'm just not laying this price with a team like that on the road. Just there's no way I can do it.
And it's Sale. You got to think he pitches great. I mean, that's why this was under here. For me or nothing. But it's a 7.5. Thought it was very sharp. So.
All right, next up, Blue Jays and Cardinals. We've got Jose Barrios for Toronto on the mound and Andre Palante for the St. Louis Cardinals. St. Louis -125 home favorites. Total here sitting at 8.5 across the board. Blue Jays win another series over the weekend. They took 2 of 3 from the Minnesota Twins. They are now at 35-30. St. Louis 36-29. Cardinals won 2 of 3 over the weekend against the LA Dodgers as well. One thing about both of these teams, other than the last couple of games, but still, the Cardinals have been hitting the ball better for the most part of late. And this Blue Jays team, I know they finally got held down yesterday, but during this 8-2 run, they've been swinging hot bats. The A's series, the Phillies series, and the Twins series. They've really been swinging it. And it's because it's not just the Guerrero and Bichette show. Springer's been on a heater. Barger has been absolutely ridiculous. Tyler Heineman, he's a freaking backup catcher, and all of a sudden he's hitting the ball left and right for the Blue Jays. So really, all of a sudden, this lineup top to bottom, it's been in really, really solid form. I'm not a big fan of what I'm seeing out of Palante. He's given up 11 runs in his last 9 innings. Barrios has been pretty good the last 2 starts, but both of those were in Toronto. He can sometimes be a little bit more susceptible on the road. To me, this is over waiting to happen. I like over 8.5 here. C-Mac, what do you think?
Yeah, there's a couple overs that I had to take. This was one. I think the weather's good. I think Palante's going to get hit. Blue Jays finally are there. We talked about they had to feel pretty good. Their record for how they just couldn't score it seemed like any runs, but they've come alive of late. This Cardinal bullpen's got hit a little bit at times. And the Dodgers, the 2 games before that, the Dodgers always thinking this. When they go to St. Louis, it seems like they always lose. And they lose 2 or 3. It's just every single year. It just happens with them. And a couple of those games, Dodgers had 10 hits, didn't score any runs. In one of those games. And they had 3 walks. It was pretty crazy to see and to get shut out. But Palante, I think he's got to give up a few. And Barrios, like you talked about, just a little bit of a different guy on the road. I think they get to him. So I'm on the over here. I kind of like the J. I don't love it, but they're proving me wrong. You talk about Barger, the guy's ripping it right now. Rip it.
He is. There's no doubt. Every day he's getting either a double or a home run right now for them. It's been pretty impressive what he's been able to do at the plate here for the Blue Jays. But, yeah, definitely over conditions, wind blowing out a bit too. So, we both agree we like the over there. All right, Athletics and Angels. It was going to be Jeffrey Springs for the A's. Now we're not sure because I see some sites have unlisted or undecided. But it will be Yusei Kikuchi for the Angels. Angels -140, home favorites, 9 the total. I think either way, I'm interested in the Angels team total. We'll see who ends up starting for them in this game. But I'd rather take the team total than lay -140. I don't have a bet yet on this game, but I would lean Angels team total over, maybe a full game over. Although Kikuchi is someone that has been, for the most part, pretty rock steady here for the LA Angels. 3.26 ERA. He had given up 1 run or fewer in 3 consecutive starts. He did run into some trouble against Boston in his last start. 3 runs, 8 innings, only 5 innings. But I would still probably look at an Angels team total over here, maybe full game over. Haven't locked it in yet, though. C-Mac, what do you think?
I think it runs in this game. Kikuchi's been pretty good. A's, some of the power numbers haven't been there, but they've been good against lefties all year long. I mean, I'll throw it out here. I mean, I'll be on Wilson. This guy's just how hot is this kid? Shortstop. We've hit on him before. I think he's got an RBI in 6 straight. He's hit 372. He hits lefties better anyways. And the Angels just got their ass, I don't say drilled. Ward hit a 2-run homer. But, I mean, what Bill had yesterday, 14 Ks. It seems like they didn't get a hit after that. I think they had 2 hits in that game. They just didn't do anything. So I think there's runs in this baseball game. And I'm no way I'm taking it. This is the A's, at this price or nothing, too. I mean, their way.
All right, good stuff. Next up, Dodgers and Padres, little NL West showdown here. We've got Dustin May for the Dodgers, Nick Pivetta for the Padres. Dodgers -125, road favorites. Total here sitting at, well, it was 8. It's up to 8.5 now in some spots. What a showdown here. I mean, the Dodgers, not 39-27, Padres 37-27, battle for supremacy in the NL West. The difference is the Dodgers are a mediocre 16-16 on the road. Padres 20-10. We've talked all year how they've been great at Petco. 20-10 here, home record. I think there's some value with the Padres here. More of a statement series for them necessary here than the Dodgers. Dodgers have won the championships. You have not. So I think if you're the Padres, you come out with a little extra something. Pivetta did get roughed up a little bit by San Francisco. That was on the road, though. At Petco, he's been really good. He's given up 3 runs in his last 12 innings of work here at Petco Park. He's pitched well in this park. I like the value here. So, I mean, Dodgers are great. We know that. But they're still a 500 road team. They're playing a San Diego team that's excellent at home. I think there's value with the Padres as a home dog here. So I'm on San Diego, +105. C-Mac, what do you think?
Yeah, I think there is too. I mean, 2 spots coming from St. Louis and Milwaukee. You know, Padres didn't look. I mean, to get 2 or 3, like I talked about, Machado hits a homer, they win the game yesterday, was pretty big. And their record is a little bit better at home, but their splits are pretty even when I went through it on the road at home, or the Padres. May's had some more good starts against the Padres than bad ones. He's had a couple where he's given up 4 runs. Like when I first looked at it, like going through this last night, I'm like, I want the under, but that was at an 8. This has moved to 8.5. And what I worry about was Pivetta, and that's a little bit what I worry about with the Padres, as much as I kind of like them tonight. But he's been really good at home. I mean, I just think he's due to get hit around. I mean, lefties always hit him hard. Dodgers have a few good numbers, Freeman and others. So that was kind of the lone thing, but it was the value definitely with the Padres. But I always talk about there's just many Dodger fans or more in that Petco. No offense to all the Padres.
No, that's just a fact.
It's a fact. Yeah, it's just a fact.
A lot of Dodger fans make the trip there to San Diego there to Petco. Yep.
The last couple of years, too, they've scored a lot of runs in these games as well, where, because Petco Park, I always look at it as a pitcher's park where I want to look at an under, like I was talking about earlier.
Yeah, I mean, 4 straight games in the series in San Diego have gone, or at least 8 runs. So there you go.
We'll see. Padres bullpen better, had some leaks, but Dodgers have getting hit around with all their problems with starting pitching and relief. I mean, yeah. But I think you just stick to it. I still think there's a little value.
Yeah, I did sprinkle on the over, but I'm way more on San Diego.
Did you get an 8?
8, yeah. A little small over bet, but I like San Diego more. I like the side better than the total here in this game. Pavetta's just been too good at home. The one thing I'll say about Pivetta at home, he's faced the Rockies. The Cubs is a good one. Cubs 1 run in 6 innings is pretty good.
But
the Giants, the Mariners when they weren't hitting, the Pirates, that's who he's faced at home. And the Dodgers are a little notch or 2 above that. So this is a good test here still. Great at home, but this is by far the toughest lineup he's faced at home.
He's off getting roughed up, too. I mean, that was in San Francisco.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Like I said, though, I still like the price there with San Diego. Seattle and Arizona, final game. We've got Hancock and Kelly on the mound. Arizona -165, home favorites, 9.5 the total in this game. This is one where I think Arizona gets it done. I mean, I'm not a big Hancock fan, 5.22 ERA. Seattle, we'll see how they fare here. I know Arizona's been limping right now, and they're off getting swept by Cincinnati. Maybe a buy low spot. They do have the right guy on the mound. Merrill Kelly at home has pitched pretty well for the most part. He had a couple of bad starts there, but he sure as hell bounced back last time. 7-inning shutout baseball against Atlanta. I think it's a nice kind of get-right spot for Arizona. The only issue is, -165. I just don't love that price. So I'm leaning Arizona in some form, either the -1 run line or the team total over, because I think they could get to Hancock a little bit, but I just don't love the value. It's not as good as I wanted. C-Mac, what do you think?
That's what I felt. I think this team total is he's put 4.5, -140. I could think they get to Hancock, but I'm like, do I want to pay this team? Yeah, it is limping. I mean, the bullpen's bad too. So what do you look? first 5 maybe team total. Could they get 3 runs? I was looking at that a little bit. But you have the right guy on the mound. And on the other side, at this place, I gotta love everything that's going on, to take it. Because I'd like to take. I think Kelly pitches well here at home. Mariners team total under 3.5. It's plus 115. I kind of like that, but I don't know if I trust it enough. Well, I love the price with it. I mean, score 4 runs, but at this park, I could just see him score some runs as we constantly see. But I was really looking at that here tonight. As Kelly needs, they need a good start. Go 6 or 7, give up 1. They need it bad here.
All right, there you have it.
These teams have been staking.
Yes.
Having Burns out too that's just backbreaker. As well as he pitched, and it's done. I thought he was done, and they said he was sprained. I'm like, no way, because the way he said it, he's like, my arm is done, my elbow. When the guy came out, he's like, it's done. And they kind of for a couple days say it was a sprain, and they're like, no, he needs Tommy John, which I thought. So not good. Not good.
All right, good stuff. There you go. That's the home run props. Jack of the day. Ian Happ is homered against Wheeler for the Cubs. So Ian Happ for the Cubs I like. I'm going to go with Barger and Springer for the Blue Jays. Both of those guys are really hitting well right now. Those are a couple of home run props in that one. In the later games, we talked about the Dodgers and Padres. Machado's got 2 against Dustin May. Tatis Jr. has 1 against Dustin May. Freddie Freeman has 1 against Pivetta, and Ohtani has 2 home runs in the past against Pivetta. So that could turn into a little bit of a home run derby. That makes me think I should be on the over more, but there's a lot of guys that have hit homers against those 2 pitchers, Dustin May and Nick Pivetta, in that Padres and Dodgers game. But those are definitely a few that stand out as far as home run props for tonight. C-Mac, any home run props for Jack of the Day for you?
Yeah, I touched on Aranda there, plus 750. Wilson, plus 675. The guy's just raking. And I'm going to go with this one. Brendan Donovan playing well, especially they're going to put him on the 3-hole. His RBI is plus 200. He's been hitting well. Like, if he's going to hit third, you're going to hang that big a price. And the Jack's plus 750. So maybe put a little bit on that. But I think his RBI is live there with Donovan with the Cardinals.
There we go. Brendan Donovan there for St. Louis in a game that we both think they're good.
That Irish kid, huh?
Exactly. Yeah, a little Irish there. Oh, Lord, love a duck. Share mashed potatoes. Oh, Lord, love a duck. Yeah, there's my little Irish accent there. All right, time for best bets.
Sign them up.
Yeah. Yep. Sign them up. Exactly.
Irish
all right, T-Mac, best bet for Monday. What do you got for us?
I already put it out because, again, I was going to go with this over, but I put it out. Rays, even money. Took it last night. I gave it. Rays, don't let me down. Let's go. Rip Bail.
There you go. A great song back in the day from the Electric Light Orchestra. Don't let me down.
Don't let me down. Yellow.
Down. I'll tell you once more before I get off the phone. Don't bring me down. There you go. Great song from the 70s. All right. I'm going Toronto.
I like Evil Woman. Evil Woman.
Evil Woman.
There you go. Let it rip.
Evil woman, evil woman. Oh, man. Don't get me going with this.
Sorry. We could do that here all day.
Blue Jays and Cardinals for me. Give me the over. 8.5, minus 110. I think we'll see run. Both lineups in good form. Blue Jays on a huge overrun all of a sudden of late during this big slide. 9-1 in their last 10 games to the over for the Toronto Blue Jays. So I think that continues tonight. Toronto, St. Louis, over 8.5. For my best bet for this Monday. Shout out to everyone in the chat. Mark 8, Nick Alvento, J Main 34, Brian Elfring, Coin, Spoons Bets, Morgan Spooner, Oldie, Timmy Two Shoe, Steven Jackson. Appreciate everyone tuning in to this. Timothy Hake, Daniel Abunad, Gerald Jones, NY2BM, T Moss. Thanks to everyone for joining us. Hit the like button on the way out. And we'll be back tomorrow. For Connor Mack, I'm Ian Cameron. Have a great Monday night. Enjoy the games and good luck. And we will be back tomorrow, I should say, afternoon, 5 p.m. Eastern, 2 p.m. Pacific, for another edition of the MLB Hitting the Books show. Until then, class dismissed.